Thanks, Senator Warner. I'd like to notify members we will have 7-minute rounds today by seniority. Gentlemen, if I could ask you to please stand and raise your right hand. Do you solemnly swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Please be seated. Ms. Stretch, we're going to recognize you, then Mr. Edgett, then Mr. Walker. Ms. Stretch, the floor is yours.
Chairman Burr, Vice Chairman Warner, and distinguished members of the committee, thank you for this opportunity to appear before you today. My name is Colin Stretch, and since July 2013, I've served as the General Counsel of Facebook. We appreciate this committee's hard work to investigate Russian interference in the 2016 election. At Facebook, our mission is to create technology that gives people the power to build community and bring the world closer together. We are proud that each of you uses Facebook to connect with your constituents, and we understand that the people you represent expect authentic experiences when they come to our platform to share and connect. We also believe that we have an important role to play in the democratic process and a responsibility to protect it on our platform. That's why we take what's happened on Facebook so seriously. The foreign interference we saw during the 2016 election is reprehensible. That foreign actors hiding behind fake accounts abused our platform and other internet services to try to sow division and discord and to try to undermine our election process is directly contrary to our values and everything we stand for. Our goal at Facebook is to bring people closer together. These foreign actors sought to drive people apart. In our investigation, which continues to this day, we have found that these actors used fake accounts to place ads on Facebook and Instagram that reached millions of Americans over a 2-year period, and that those ads were used to promote pages, which in turn posted more content. People shared these posts, spreading them still further. Many of these ads and posts are inflammatory. Some are downright offensive. We know that much of this content is particularly hurtful to members of the Facebook community that engaged with this content believing it was authentic. People should believe content on Facebook is authentic and should not have to worry that they are being exploited in a cynical effort to prey on painful fault lines in our society in order to inflame discourse in this country. In aggregate, the ads and posts we are here today to discuss were a very small fraction of the overall content on Facebook, but any amount is too much. All of these accounts and pages violated our policies, and we removed them. Going forward, we are making significant investments. We're hiring more ad reviewers, doubling or more our security engineering efforts, putting in place tighter ad content restrictions, launching new tools to improve ad transparency, and requiring documentation from political ad buyers. We're building artificial intelligence to help locate more banned content and bad actors. We're working more closely with industry to share information on how to identify and prevent threats so that we can all respond faster and more effectively. And we're expanding our efforts to work more closely with law enforcement. We know bad actors aren't going to stop their efforts. We know we'll all have to keep learning and improving to stay ahead of them. We also know we can't do this alone. That's why I want to thank you for this investigation. We look forward to the conclusions you will ultimately share with the American public, and I look forward to your questions.
Mr. Edgett, the floor is yours.
Chairman Burr, Vice Chairman Warner, and members of this committee, Twitter understands the importance of the committee's inquiry into Russia's interference in the 2016 election, and we appreciate the opportunity to appear here today. The events underlying this hearing have been deeply concerning to our company and the broader Twitter community. We are committed to providing a service that fosters and facilitates free and open democratic debate and that promotes positive change in the world. We are troubled by reports that the power of Twitter was misused by a foreign actor for the purpose of influencing the U.S. presidential election and undermining public faith in the democratic process. The abuse of our platform to attempt state-sponsored manipulation of elections is a new challenge for us, and one we are determined to meet. Today, we intend to show the committee how serious we are about addressing this new threat by addressing the work we are doing to understand what happened and to ensure that it does not happen again. At the time of the 2016 election, we observed and acted on instances of automated and malicious activity. As we learned more about the scope of the broader problem, we resolved to strengthen our systems going forward. Elections continue all the time, so our first priority was to do all we could to block and remove malicious activity from interfering with our users' experience. We created dedicated teams within Twitter to enhance the quality of information our users see and to block malicious activity whenever and wherever we find it. Those teams continue to work every day to ensure Twitter remains a safe, open, transparent, and positive platform. We have also launched a retrospective review to find Russian efforts to influence the 2016 election through automation, coordinated activity, and advertising. While that review is still underway, we have made the decision to review and share what we know today in the interest of transparency and out of appreciation for the urgency of this matter. We do so recognizing that our findings may be supplemented as we continue to work with the committee staff and other companies, discover more facts, and gain a greater understanding of these events. My written testimony details the methodology and current findings of our retrospective review in detail. We studied tweets from the period September 1st to November 15th, 2016. During that time, we did find automated and coordinated activity of interest. We determined that the number of accounts we could link to Russia and that were tweeting election-related content was comparatively small, about 1/100% of total Twitter accounts at the time we studied. 1/3 of 1% of the election-related tweets people saw came from Russian-linked automated accounts. We did, however, observe instances where Russian-linked activity was more pronounced and have uncovered more accounts linked to the Russian-based Internet Research Agency as a result of our review. We have also determined that advertising by Russia Today and 7 small accounts was related to the election and violated either the policies in effect at the time or that have since been implemented. We have banned all of those users as advertisers, and we will donate that revenue to academic research into the use of Twitter during elections and for civic engagement. We are making meaningful improvements based on our findings. Last week, we announced industry-leading changes to our advertising policies that will help protect our platform from unwanted content. We are also enhancing our safety systems, sharpening our tools for stopping malicious activity, and increasing transparency to promote public understanding of all of these areas. Our work on these challenges will continue for as long as malicious actors seek to abuse our system and will need to evolve to stay ahead of new tactics. We have heard concerns about Russia's actors' use of Twitter to disrupt the 2016 election and about our commitment to addressing that issue. Twitter believes that any activity of that kind, regardless of magnitude, is unacceptable, and we agree that we must do better to prevent it. We hope that our appearance today and the description of the work we have undertaken demonstrates our commitment to working with you, our industry partners, and other stakeholders to ensure that the experience of 2016 never happens again. Cooperation to combat this challenge is essential. We cannot defeat this evolving shared threat alone. As with most technology-based threats, the best approach is to combine information and ideas to increase our collective knowledge. Working with the broader community, we will continue to test, to learn, to share, and to improve so that our product remains effective and safe. I look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Edgett. Mr. Walker, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Chairman Burr, Vice Chairman Warner, members of the committee, for the opportunity to speak with you today. My name is Kent Walker. I'm Senior Vice President and General Counsel at Google. I oversee our legal, our policy, our trust and safety, and our Google.org teams. I've worked at the intersection of technology, security, and the law for over 25 years, starting my career as an Assistant U.S. Attorney for the U.S. Department of Justice, focused on technology crimes. Let me start my conversation with you today by joining the earlier comments, acknowledging the victims and the families of the awful attack in New York yesterday. As a New York employer, we know how strong and tough New Yorkers are, and we look forward to doing anything we can to help. Turning to the issues before the committee today, Google believes that we have a responsibility to prevent the misuse of our platforms, and we take that very seriously. Google was founded with a mission of organizing the world's information and making it universally accessible and useful. The abuse of the tools and platforms we build is antithetical to that mission. Google is deeply concerned about attempts to undermine the democratic elections. We are committed to working with Congress, law enforcement, others in our industry, and the NGO community to strengthen protections around elections, to ensure the security of users, and to help combat disinformation. We recognize the importance of this committee's mandate, and we appreciate the opportunity to share information and talk about solutions. Of course, disinformation and propaganda campaigns aren't new and have involved many types of media and publications over the years. And for many years, we've seen attempts to interfere with our online platforms. We take these threats very seriously. We've built industry-leading security systems, and we've put those tools into our consumer products as well. Back in 2007, we launched the first version of our Safe Browsing tool, which helps protect users from phishing, malware, and other attacks. Today, Safe Browsing is used on more than 3 billion devices worldwide. If we suspect that users are subject to government-sponsored attacks, we warn them about that. And last month, we launched our Advanced Protection Program, which helps protect those at greatest risk of attack, like journalists, business leaders, and politicians. We face motivated and resourceful attackers, and we are continually evolving our tools to stay ahead of ever-changing threats. Our tools don't just protect our physical and network security, but they also detect and prevent attempts to manipulate our systems. On Google News, for example, we use fact-check labels to help users spot fake news. For Google Search, we have updated our quality guidelines and evaluations to help surface more authoritative content from the web. We've updated our advertising guidelines as well to prohibit ads on sites that misrepresent themselves. And on YouTube, we employ a sophisticated spam and security breach detection system designed to detect anomalous behavior and catch people trying to inflate view counts of videos or numbers of subscribers. And as threats evolve, we will continually adapt in order to understand and prevent new attempts to misuse our platforms. With respect to the committee's work on the 2016 election, we've looked across our products to understand whether government-backed entities were using our products to disseminate information in order to interfere with the U.S. election. While we did find some deceptive activities on our platform associated with suspected government-backed accounts, that activity appears to have been relatively limited. Of course, any activity like this is more than we would like to see. We've provided the relevant information to the committee, have issued a public summary of the results of our review, and we will continue to cooperate with the committee's investigation. Going forward, we will continue to expand our use of cutting-edge technology to protect our users, and we'll continue working with governments to ensure that our platforms aren't abused. We will also be making political advertising more transparent, easier for users to understand, and even more secure. In 2018, we'll release a transparency report showing data about who is buying election ads on our platform and how much money is being spent. We'll pair that transparency report with a database available for public research of election and ad content across our ads products. We're also going to make it easier for users to understand who bought the election ads they see on our networks. Going forward, users will be able to easily find the name of any advertiser running an election ad on Search, YouTube, or the Google Display Network through an icon on the ad. We'll continue enhancing our existing safeguards to ensure that we permit only U.S. nationals to buy U.S. election ads. We already tightly restrict which advertisers can serve ads to audiences based on political leanings. Moving forward, we'll go further by verifying the identity of anyone who wants to run an election ad or use our political interest-based tools and confirming that that person is permitted to run that ad. We certainly can't do this alone. We'll continue to work with other companies to better protect the collective digital ecosystem, and even as we take our own steps, we remain open to working on legislation that promotes electoral transparency. Moreover, our commitment to addressing these issues extends beyond our services. We've offered in-person briefings and introduced a suite of digital tools designed to help election websites and political campaigns protect themselves from phishing, unauthorized account access, and other digital attacks. We're also increasing our longstanding support for the bipartisan Defending Digital Democracy Project. Let me conclude by recognizing the importance of the work of this committee. Our users, advertisers, and creators must be able to trust in their security and safety. We share the goal of identifying bad actors who have attempted to interfere with our systems and abuse the electoral process. We look forward to continued cooperation, both with the members of this committee and with our fellow companies, to provide access to tools that help citizens express themselves while avoiding abuses that undercut the integrity of elections. Thank you again for the opportunity to tell you about our ongoing efforts. We look forward to our continuing work with Congress on these important issues, and we're happy to answer any questions you might have.
Mr. Walker, thank you for your testimony.